I have the pleasure of welcoming Dr. Agrima Mian, rank 14, AIIMS, May 2015. A wonderful rank, splendid performance, superb. Congratulations, Dr. Agrima. DAMS is really proud of your achievement. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling really great. Even I didn't expect such a good rank, but it all happens for the good in the end, and I'm really happy.
Yes, happy is the world, happy is the real emotion. We are also happy on your achievement. Dr. Agrima, let me ask you, what is the role of DAMS in your achievement?
I really started my preparation for PG entrance last year. That is during my internship, and the first thing that I did was to join DAMS. I joined the test and discussion course at DAMS, that I would say it played a really crucial role because it actually got me oriented to the system of how Indian PG examination is conducted. Because when I had started off, I was not even sure if I'm going to write the Indian PG or the US MLE. So I came here and I joined the test and discussion course. So the course was very nicely planned. I was a little confident about my basics, and that is why I chose to join test and discussion instead of the regular batch. The way that the tests were split into portions and the content was split into portions, that is something I really liked. They were very nicely planned so that we just had one class in a week, and it used to cover almost all the important aspects of that subject. So in that week I used to study at home, and I used to take a test on that subject, and we used to have a very elaborate discussion. For bigger subjects like medicine and surgery, they were split into multiple portions so that we can cover them over 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So all doubts related to that topic we could come to the class and discuss, and so basically one topic used to get over in a week. So it was sort of a timetable, a ready-made timetable for me to follow. So that is something I really liked.
So your decision for joining this particular course has really paid you well by helping you achieve such a wonderful rank.
It really suited me, yeah.
As we all know that DAMS is quite active on the online medium. We have a DAMS exclusive club, then we conduct the CBTs, and then we have the test series and the DAMS cloud also available to the students. Can you just say a few words on this particular thing?
I was enrolled for the online thing as well. So I used to take all the grant tests regularly. I could not take all the subject-wise tests, but I definitely took most of the grant tests. So I would suggest that once you're done with most of the subjects, it's a very useful thing to appear for a grant test, because that way from time to time you can evaluate where you stand. And there's this CBT computer-based test that's conducted in November or October, and that is the time when most of the classes are over and people have almost read their subjects once at least. So it's not only people from DAMS, but it's open for everybody. So it's a very good assessment. It's like a mini All India PG exam, like 2 months ahead of the actual exam. So I could judge. I scored a decent rank in CBT as well, so I could assess that my preparation is going on the right track at least. So if it is not, then at least you have a buffer for like 2 months to reprimand your errors. So that is something I really liked.
Well, that's definitely the crux, that's definitely the essence of conducting these exercises for the student. Did you forget to mention about the exclusive club, or?
Yeah, so DAMS exclusive club on Facebook, that is a really nice portal where people can put in their doubts, and not only other students answer, but teachers are also very prompt in replying to questions. And not just that, they any small things and any new updates that keep coming up which cannot be told in class, so teachers put them up very regularly. Like almost every day there is an update by some faculty member about any recent changes made in any guidelines or some additions made in a book. I particularly was not extremely active in the club, to be frank, but I used to at least watch out for updates by teachers. The good thing is that teachers are very readily available and accessible for answering doubts. And especially I feel that in pre-PG preparation, when you're doing books and you're doing guides and volumes, you come across a lot of controversial questions. Some guide says say whatever is the answer, and somebody else says, some other coaching says this is the answer. So if you can directly ask a teacher who's read that subject nicely from so many books, that's the best thing. So you know what to answer. So that's a good thing. But I have also seen a lot of people getting really hooked to Facebook because of that club. So that also should not happen. I mean, that club will help you, but that will not like make you secure your rank. You have to study and you have to like post questions and clear your doubts on the club. But that's not the only thing.
That is very wisely.
Some people go astray on that club. I've seen you say things like unnecessary, like keep putting dots and following and stuff like that. So that shouldn't be done. But it is intended for a very nice purpose. Let's maintain the dignity of that club. That's what I want to say.
That's very nicely and I would say very wisely put for the medium. And thank you very much for sharing your sentiments on this particular thing. And let me remind our listeners here, we're talking to Dr. Agrima Mian, rank 14, AIIMS, May 2015. Let me just ask you here, Dr. Agrima, that did you attend our DBT session?
Yeah.
And
yes.
How was the experience?
I attended the AIIMS Visual Treat session. It was really nice. Not only we were introduced to these days visual based questions are coming not only in All India PG but even AIIMS. Like this May AIIMS had all the questions from Dermat skin were all of them are visual based, and there were almost, I would say, 8 to 9 skin questions. So while we're doing the books, we almost forget to look at images because none of our question and answer books have any photographs. So that day we were, that was a very exhaustive session for 3 days, and we were introduced to several, it was a very elaborate introduction for almost all sorts of images that can be asked in most subjects. Not just that, but all one-liners and factual things and updates about which can be asked in All India PG were covered in that session. In fact, some of the questions that were covered in ComEd were actually asked in May AIIMS, and if it hadn't been discussed in the DVT, I do not think, it was a very new thing and it was asked, it coincidentally came in May AIIMS this time. So I think it's pretty useful. It's in 3 days you almost get a hang of like the 19 subjects.
Well, that's the basic mindset we have here at AIIMS, to give a complete idea to the students in very less time. Now comes my favorite question, and that is that how did you prepare for your exams?
I would say I started off my preparation only last year. Along with my internship. So when I joined Test and Discussion, I decided that I will split my study schedule according to how it is planned in the Test and Discussion thing. But for some tests, the time, if you feel that the time is a little long, like for short subjects, you even have a week for short subjects. If you're fast enough, then you can probably put in 2 short subjects in that week. If you're fast enough, then you can finish your course a bit faster. What I did was, I used to read the subject properly in the 6 days that I have at home, and from the various books that are available, there are subject-wise books available for almost all subjects. So I used to do that thoroughly, the theory part. Then I used to come and give the test, and I used to make sure that I attended almost all the TMD classes. So in the tests, for one, you get to know new things, and secondly, you get to know what you've missed. Even if you've read the book, there are things that you tend to ignore. So those things get covered. You can discuss your doubts, and the Test and Discussion notes, I found them really useful for AIIMS especially. I'm saying so because AIIMS asks very logical questions. So a lot of the questions were concept based, but in May AIIMS, a lot of questions came from what was given in the Test and Discussion notes, especially for short subjects and first year subjects. I would say they are pretty much sufficient. So I used to read the subject thoroughly in that week, give the test. The next day I used to try and revise the Test and Discussion notes once myself, so that the thing gets consolidated. That doesn't, I could not do it every time, but if you can, I would really suggest that you should, before starting the next subject, you should always try and do those notes first. and just go on. But you should, I left almost last 2.5 months for revising before All India. So I revised nearly twice. I revised twice and one good last minute revision. For AIIMS in particular, apart from the same preparation that I had for All India, I decided to brush up my short subjects and my first year subjects, because short subjects are like 7 or 8 short subjects, and out of 200, around 40 questions are asked on short subjects, 40 to 45 questions. So that's a major chunk, and people tend to ignore short subjects, thinking that only like bigger subjects like final year subjects are most important. They are, but they're concept based. But short subjects, I think they're very scoring. So I focused on that, and again, test and discussion notes really helped me with that. Another thing I added for AIIMS was to do the past year papers. That's like a must do. Because of all the chaos of All India counselling, I could manage to do around 6 years of AIIMS papers and around 5 to 6 years of All India papers. So I did that twice. Instead of doing like for older papers, I did the same thing twice, and that really helped me, I would say. It really helped me. So that is the crux of it, the theory, and strengthen your theory and do related questions, especially past years. So that prepares you for everything. And plus, if you can revise the questions that are given in the test and discussion, some of them also tend to get repeated. So
that's wonderful, and that's really enlightening to know all these inputs from you. Let me just ask you, what difference did you feel in yourself? You know, what transformation did you see in yourself while you were preparing at AIIMS? Right from the day of joining this particular course, and continuing the time with the class, in the class with the faculty, and till the end point, when you were ready to take the exam, did you find some difference in yourself?
Well, I would say the most important difference would have been probably getting more confident. When I went for the All India PG exam, I was on a very jittery stand myself, and I was not very confident about my preparation. But after that, I had interactions with Sir, Sumer Sir and Deepti ma'am. They were really helpful, and they kind of motivated me to keep continuing to study for AIIMS as well, and that really helped me. So it was like a confidence booster for me. And moreover, you keep giving tests after tests, and if you get a good rank, it's like a positive feedback effect that you keep getting. So and if you don't, then you know where to correct yourself. So it really boosts your confidence, and you can put yourself on you can judge yourself very nicely, because in the exam is only like miracles do happen, but it's reflective of how you've been performing in the tests and how you've been studying. So that way you can understand your stand well.
Absolutely, your equanimity is reflected the best at the time of examination that you have kept throughout the year. How good is the DAMS evaluation system? However, we have been talking about the test and the test and discussion, but I would like to know some specific words on that.
Well, the tests that we give are evaluated in 2 ways. One for the AIIMS pattern, and one for the All India PG pattern. So the AIIMS pattern is standard. There's no complication. It's 1/3 negative marking. But the All India PG pattern, they do some scaling and something.
Yes.
So that is something that we cannot do ourselves. So if you're given a test like a test paper of 60 questions, and if you get 10 wrong, and another person also gets some 10 questions wrong, does not mean you'll have the same marks, because it depends on which 10 questions were wrong.
Absolutely.
Because every question has different marking, so you cannot do that yourself at home, sitting at home. So because we used to come and give tests here, they have that method of scaling themselves.
Yes.
So for NDE, yes, the evaluation system is made according to how it is now happening for All India PG. So that is really nice.
That's great to know. And let me just ask you, which teachers influenced you most in DAMS?
Well, of course, Sumer Sir, he's an inspiration by himself. The way he's shaped his career and the way he's built up such a nice institution is very motivating for everybody. Deepti ma'am in particular, she was really nice and very, very helpful. With a personalized touch, she solved all my doubts and even counseled me. Apart from that, for totally focusing on how the subjects were taught. I really liked the way pediatrics was taught, anatomy was taught, and I really liked Tushar Mehta sir's orthopedics class, and of course medicine, and yes, surgery sir, Rajiv sir, he was like, his notes are like really nice, they cover almost everything, so I just really like that.
That practically includes everyone at DAMS, you know. That's very nice to know. And let me just ask you, which branch are you going to opt?
That's a tough question. I'm looking for the surgical branch. Yeah, but my parents want me to take medicine, so we are contemplating.
Well,
right
fine.
now.
That's definitely.
But I'll probably go in for the surgical branch.
That's going to be your call. What at DAMS, as people around you, and that includes me also, are sure that we are going to have very talented doctors coming up. And any message for your juniors?
Well, I'm sure like everybody who comes here and everybody who's preparing will give his best, and that is the essence of it. One thing which I would want everybody to know is that I made a mistake during All India PG exam, and that mistake was to not be confident. And I got 1500 rank in All India PG, and those last 2 zeros got removed.
Absolutely.
And I got rank 14 in my AIIMS in a matter of like 5 months. And also I did not study for those 5 months thoroughly, because I was involved in All India counselling, and you guys will know how chaotic the All India PG counselling is. I could barely manage to study for less than a month. So that doesn't mean that I used to study for 24 hours in that 1 month. But yes, the only difference was confidence. So if you have studied well, just be confident and be positive. That would really, really make a lot of difference. And if you have the right direction, if you join a coaching center, you're joining DAMS, you will know what to do. You just have to follow the path. And just stick to plan. Just stick to the plan that you make. Don't be jittery. Don't keep on we tend to get influenced a lot during our PPG preparation by what other people are doing, and if you don't score well in one exam,